teaching you how to sync and whatnot in Vegas. So yee. So you're just gonna find your clip here. Doesn't really matter as long as it's like 60 FPS. Then it works. So I'll just use an overused clip from Plasma. I'll just do this one. It's really easy to sync. So just drag that in, and you want to micro up your song, which is pretty self-going. Doesn't really need much explaining. Just hit M on the keyboard, and you basically get a marker. So you're just gonna find. What I do is I go in the shot, go to whenever the shot starts here. So like right here, probably I'd say. You could probably go to around there, and then I'd say this should last about 4 beats. So I basically drag the shot onto there, and then I drag this over, so it's like perfect. So we just hit S on the keyboard to split, and again, I'll just do the first part. So for the normal POV of the shot, you're gonna use velocity to do it. So basically, just go in here, insert envelope. So again, just right click on it, insert remove envelope, and then just there's velocity there, and you just throw it on. So what I do is I just zoom in, go 7 frames over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It also, it's not gonna work for every clip or every song, because this song is really basic, but some of them, the beats will be closer together, so you have to manage like whatever looks better with those like amounts of beats. So we got 7 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beats over, or frames. Drag this up, and then just do the same thing for everything, or every marker. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And also, when you put the marker down, you're gonna have this, and I didn't mention that, but when you do your markers, which you double click on velocity to do, you're gonna right click just to do all that. But then once you do it, you want it to have like a little like half pipe looking thing here. So what you're gonna do is right click on the little line, and then for this way, like when it's going this way, you do fast, and then when it's going, like when it's on the left side of the marker, you're gonna do slow fade, so it gives it that smooth effect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just gonna drag that over, and then same thing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And sometimes you'll have the clips will be too fast before, so they'll repeat. Normally, sometimes it happens, not all the time, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So see how for the shot, it'll have the shot there, and then it repeats. You're gonna have to drag this. What I do is just drag it over, and then make it like a little bit further this way, so you can see it'll be better. And what you're gonna do is for the shot, it's different. So you're gonna hit insert remove envelope again to enable velocity. You're gonna make sure you have disable resample checked, and you're gonna go again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then just do that and go over, check it up again. Just do all this stuff that you were doing normally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But on the shots, I actually add Twixtor to it as well. Now I'm going to be showing you my Twixtor settings, so this is why it is a paid tutorial, because I'm not going to just give away my Twixtor settings. But what you're going to do is just split on the marker here, and you're going to go into your video effects tab, and you're going to go down to Twixtor Pro. I'm gonna drag on my better one. So what you're gonna do is copy down my settings. It's really basic. And then you're gonna go here, set it to 500, and then click on here to keyframe it. Go go 5 frames over and then set it to 10%, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames, and then I'll just make this smaller so I can see it. You go down here to hit add keyframe, so it'll have a keyframe there. Then you go and you put 500, drag it over to the end. Same with velocity, so you just hit shift to select both of them and right click, hit fast fade. Same thing on this one, right click, hit slow fade. So what you'll get, and I'll do the reload and kill cam as well, because the kill cam and reload is a bit different, so it'll just go through. Now this here will be lagging because you did it in Vegas. Sometimes the Twixtor will lag. All you have to do is just go up here, file, render as, and then once you render it, you can watch how it normally is without lagging. So you do the same thing. So I'm just actually gonna split this and copy these settings over to this marker right here. So, and then just fix the keyframes and stuff. So I'll do that really quick. And then if you do that and you copy the settings over, you're gonna have to, because this clip is longer, so I have to select both these keyframes and move it over, and then just drag this over. So that's how I do the reload as well. So I'm basically just gonna drag it over to where I want to start, because when you use Twixtor, it's supposed to be like really jumpy, so you can, sometimes it'll look smooth, sometimes it won't. It just kind of depends on the clip. So what I got here is, it's also gonna look really choppy like the Twixtor on the shot. That just means I have to render it out. It does that sometimes. It'll do that normally the first time you add it into your what's it called, if you add Twixtor for the first time. Once you render it out once, it normally the Twixtor won't lag, and the rest of the edit after you do that when you pre-render it. So again, I'll just show you what I got. Now what we're gonna do is the kill cam. So the kill cam's a little different, but it's basically the same thing, except you're gonna have Twixtor on the whole kill cam and not just the shot and the reload for before it. So I'm just gonna set the velocity to normal because it still shows out there. We're gonna go to probably about here, I'd say, and you're just gonna have, I'd say, the same 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just put it so the shot is right there. Just split it on the keyboard, S on the keyboard again to split, and then you're gonna split at all the markers, and then just split there. You don't really have, some people do, but in my opinion, syncing the reload shot isn't really necessary. So all you're gonna do is just drag this over. Again, same, it's the exact same thing as these. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames over, double click on velocity line to make a keyframe. I'm just gonna do this more precise. Again, then you go this, right click on it, set to 50, right click on this one, set to 300, right click on the little line here, and it's fast fade, and then do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, drag this over, hit 50, set that up, right click, hit slow fade, then you add Twixtor to it. Again, these are my settings. I'm not gonna wait, you're gonna have to pause the video if you didn't get them before, and then set to 500, bring it over 5 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but you do 5 frames instead of 7. I don't know why, just it's smoother in my opinion. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's also what I do. I don't know why, but I think the frame, and also when you combine velocity and Twixtor, I feel like the frame blending is a lot less. Like the frame blending is not as bad. Like from my observations, the frame blending isn't as bad as what it would be. It also depends on the shot. If you have a really complex shot, the frame blending is probably going to be really bad. But I'm just about to paste these settings onto here and then just fix them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's also something you can get away with, is just straight up copying and pasting your settings over. It's pretty easy to get away with, to be honest. Also, you can see the warp is bad. That's just for this clip. It's not going to be bad for every clip. I'm not going to go through and like perfect it, but like also you can change this to about 250. It doesn't it just makes the warp a little bit different, but doesn't really change much. So I don't normally do it, especially with my style. But I'm just gonna pre-render this out for you, and you'll see that it's probably the Twixtor is gonna be lagging because I never rendered it out. But there will be a preview at the beginning of this showing what I actually did. It's not gonna be anything insane, but as you can see, that looks decent. If you add RSMB, that can also hide the warp a little bit. It won't completely get like not show it, but if you do add like, I'll just throw in edits, sometimes it'll mask it a little bit. I know for this one it probably isn't, because I just threw, that's not the setting I normally use. But if you want this setting, so this RSMB, there are the settings. I just threw it on the track so it shows it on the whole thing. So it's probably not gonna make much of a difference in Vegas because RSMB doesn't really show a lot, but you'll see kind of like the difference a bit. And yeah, that's it. It is actually very simple to do. Alright, I was recording. If you have any more questions, just hit me up on Skype. You probably already have me added because you'd have to add me on Skype to get it, this tutorial, but I know it's not the best, but it definitely does show you how to do it. So that's not even that bad, to be honest. The warp, you can see how, and you also don't put Twixtor on here, because if you do, this will warp, everything will warp, and it'll just look terrible. So I'm about to render this out for you guys, and yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure again to ask me if you need to have any more questions towards syncing. Just hit me up again. I can explain it the best I can. And anyways, yeah, see ya.